Welcome to ANS Solver question 1. Amol and Priya deliver 645 parcels in the ratio 11:4. So therefore we know that there are a total of 15 in the ratio because 11 plus 4 will give us 15. So we have to take the ratio out of 15. So 11 by 15 or 4 by 15. So calculate the number of parcels Amol delivers. So Amol delivers 11 out of 15. That is the ratio of the parcels that he delivers. So all we need to do is 645 multiplied by 11 by 15. So 645 multiplied by 11, you will get 7095. Divided by 15, you will get 473. Therefore 473 is your final answer for part A. Now let's move on to part B. Amol drives his truck at an average speed of 50 kilometers an hour. He leaves at 7 o'clock or 700 hours and arrives at 11:15. Calculate the distance he drives. So the formula for distance, I'm writing in short form for now, but when you solve it, you have to write the full word. So distance is equal to speed into time. And be careful, I don't mean standard deviation in this case, I mean speed. So speed multiplied by time. So the speed they've given us as 50 kilometers per hour multiplied by the time. So the time difference would be 4 hours and 15 minutes. But we have to give our time in hours. So what you do is you divide the 15 minutes by 60 because in 1 hour there are 60 minutes. So we'll get the decimal figure for 15 minutes, which is 0.25. So 4.25 hours is 4 hours 15 minutes. So 50 into 4.25. If you put that in the calculator, you will get 212.5. And you can either leave your final answer as this, or you can round it off to 3 significant figures, that is 213 kilometers. And but it is very important that you make sure to write the unit, otherwise they will cut 1 mark. Now let's move on to part C. Priya drives her van a distance of 54 kilometers. She leaves at 10:55 and arrives at 12:38. Calculate the average speed. Okay, so average speed is equal to total distance divided by total time. So the total distance they've given it to us as 54, and total time, again we have to give our time in hours because we have to give our answer in kilometers per hour. So how I work is I take a whole number first. So from 10:55 I work up to 11 o'clock. So that would be 5 minutes that I will add at the end of my calculation. So 5 minutes we keep aside. So we'll start from 11 o'clock. So from 11 o'clock to 12:38, it would be 1 hour 38 minutes plus 5 minutes. So 1 hour 43 minutes. Now if the 43 minutes to convert into hours, you simply do 43 divided by 60. So it would be 1.716 recurring hours. So if you put this in the calculator as 54 divided by 1.716 recurring, you will get your final answer as 31.4563, and you can then round off your final answer to 31.5 kilometers per hour. Yeah. Now let's move on to part D. Priya has 50 identical parcels. Each parcel has a mass of 17 kgs, correct to the nearest kilogram. Find the upper bound for the total mass of the 50 parcels. So how we do that is, you can take the upper bound of the mass. So instead of doing 50 multiplied by 17, we would do 50 multiplied by 17.5. So because the upper bound of 17 is 17.5 and 17.5 is the number that can be adjusted because it is correct to the nearest kilogram. So 50 multiplied by 17.5, you will get 875 kgs as your final answer for part D. Now let's move on to part E. 67 out of 645 parcels are damaged on the journey. Calculate the percentage of parcels that are damaged. So this is pretty straightforward. So the number of parcels that are damaged divided by the total number of parcels, and since we need a percentage, we multiply this number or this decimal by 100. So you can just simply put your calculation into the calculator because this is a 1 mark question. So 67 divided by 645 into 100. If you put that in the calculator, you will get your decimal answer as 10.3875, and therefore your final answer would be 10.4 because this 8 is more than 5, so it will round off the 3 to the next number, therefore giving you a final answer of 10.4%. Now let's move on to part F1. 29 parcels each have a value of $68. By writing each of these parcels correct to one significant figure, find an estimate for the total value of these 29 parcels. Okay, so firstly we have to round off the numbers to one significant figure. So if we round off 29, that would give us 30, and 30 is one significant figure because 3 is the only significant figure, multiplied by this. If you round off 68, you will get 70, which has also only one significant figure, that is 7. So if we do 30 into 70, you will get $2,100, and therefore this will be your final answer for part F1. Now let's move on to part F2. Without doing any calculations, complete the statement. The actual total value of these 29 parcels is less than the answer to part F1 because we have rounded both the numbers. My bad. We have rounded both the numbers up, and therefore our answer would be higher than the actual number. Therefore these are our answers for part F.